Good evening, friends. Happy Hanukkah. I wish I could fully internalize what I'm saying. Fully internalize saying Happy Hanukkah to you guys, but sorry, there's a light kind of bright above me, which I guess is symbolic, kind of spiritual. But you guys probably heard there was a shooting tonight at a shul at a synagogue in Monsey, New York. I'm sorry, not a shooting. Apologize. A stabbing. Uh, 15 people got stabbed. 15 Jews got stabbed. It wasn't a white nationalist, a white right-wing person. It was an African American gentleman with a knife. Uh, you know, some friends and family tonight, they were saying, oh, this is, all the left-wingers' fault, this whole, Black Lives Matter movement, all this kind of stuff. And I say to them, and they told me, well, all the attacks have been on the East Coast in New York have been happening from, perpetrated by African Americans. And I said, you're right about New York, but this stuff is happening all over the country. One of my friends said, just move to a red state. I'm like, okay, so Pennsylvania is a red state. I mean, in terms of gun laws, it's a red state, so I'll move to a red state, right? Okay, they attacked reform conservative Jews in Pittsburgh. At this point, they don't really care. Whoever's attacking Jews, it's people all over the political and racial spectrum. In that case, it was a white nationalist, right? The problem I have is that, if you talk to lefties, they're blaming it only on white nationalists. If you talk to some conservative people, not all, they're blaming it all on the left-wing movements. Friends, both of these groups of people, both my friends and family and both the people that are blaming this on white nationalists, they have one thing in common. They don't they don't know Jewish history, and they don't understand the Torah. A threat to Jews can come from anywhere, and the Torah just proves via the pasuk Esav Sonei Yaakov that it's actually a halacha. Antisemitism is a halacha. It's embedded in nature. It's like if people want to say they want to fight antisemitism, it's like you might as well go fight gravity. Go fight gravity. Go have a symposium, have an event, have a march, have a speech, have a dinner, and call it we're fighting gravity dinner. These are the people that are, to you guys who are doing anti-Semitism, stopping anti-Semitism. What I can tell you is you guys cannot stop you can't stop a sentiment. If a person has a hatred for you, you can't stop him from hating you. What you could do is, here's what you can do. I'll tell you what you should have symposiums and dinners about. You should have symposiums and dinners of how to kill anti-Semites. If you read the Torah, it says, decimate Amalek. Kill him, physically kill him, wipe him out. Amalek is the anti-Semite, is the person who hates Jews just because we exist, with no other reason. And they may give their reasons, we do, we take over the real estate, we this, we that. Every single one of these people who attacks Jews, mind you, whether it's a white nationalist or African American, or it doesn't matter who it is, right? Muslim, whoever, it could be anybody. They all have their own distinct, unique reasons. Some of those reasons contradict, mind you. But they have their own reasons. They have, they'll tell you anything. The Jews start the wars, real estate, this, that, occupation of it, whatever. Palestine. If you guys go to France, for example, you ask Arabs, why do you attack Jews? It's because of our brothers in Palestine. So what happens? They attack Jews enough that the Jews in France, what do? They pick up and they go to Palestine. So more Jews go to their beloved Palestine. The Arabs' beloved Palestine. Okay, listen, our enemies, you have to understand, they have, and it doesn't matter what the reason is. It just matters that it exists, that it's there and it is. It doesn't matter what the reason. You could be blamed. Oh, it's all this fault. Obama fomented this. Black Lives Matter. Oh, it's a white on the other side, the white nationalism. It doesn't matter. As our friend Michael Jackson used to say, it doesn't matter if you're black or white, if they're black or white in this case. It doesn't matter. All that matters is they're attacking Jews. Whether it's in Pittsburgh, in Poway, in San Diego, in Crown Heights, in Williamsburg, in Monsey, coming to a town near you, okay? It could be Chicago, Skokie, Illinois. It could be, I don't know, just pick any shul. It doesn't matter if it's a Chabad. It doesn't matter if it's Reform, Conservative, Deconstructionist, Underconstructionist, you know, Malconstructionist, non-construct, you know, I don't know. Just pick any wacky denomination that we have. Lubavitch, Satmar, you know, I don't know. Litvak, Schmidt, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All that matters is we're Jews. And at this point, it doesn't even matter if we're halachic Jews. You know, it could be somebody who's like, I don't know, adopted by Jews, somebody who raised as a Jew, somebody who has a Jewish father, non-Jewish mother. It doesn't matter. Amalek wants to wipe us out, every trace of us. That is his job since thousands of years ago. And we're told, there's going to be a parsha coming up, maybe in a few Torah portions, where there was a part that we read at the end of the portion that we have to read it intently, with intent, that talks about wiping out Amalek. We have to remember Zachor. We have to wipe him out. Like, remember to wipe him out. Don't. And we let him live. You know, there was a king we had who let Amalek, king, the Amalekites live, and we let them live. We let them off the hook. You know, as Dennis Green said about the Chicago Bears. These guys who we thought they were, we had them, and we let them off the hook. You know, watch the speech on YouTube. We let them off the hook, and now we're walking around, guys. You know, I go. There's a synagogue that I go to across the street from that shul where the people got stabbed today. I go there sometimes for mikvah before Shabbat. That door is wide open. People are just sitting there every single day studying Torah. I don't know if they have guns. It's a Hasidic shul. It's a Hasidic synagogue. I don't know if they have guns. The only guy I see there is the Mexican worker there. Very nice guy, you know. He cleans the shul and everything like that. He's in charge of the shul. It's wide open. There's no lock on that door. There's no combination. Like, hello. Listen, a relative of mine messaged me. She said, "How do we stop these attacks on our people?" I said, "You have one of two choices in this country. You could either arm every single shul. Every single shul can have weapons, right? Just arm every single shul. That's choice number one. Choice number two is, if you're not going to do choice number one, pack your bags and move to Israel." And now you may say, well, you're so safe in Israel. I'll tell you something. In Israel, at least you know there's one enemy. There's one enemy in Israel. You know, it's a question of when is he going to attack you? Where is he going to attack you? Okay, but at least when that happens, we can protect the area. We can be ready for it. We can arm ourselves. We can be vigilant, right? Israel's a small country. You can pretty much figure out, neutralize this, There's many more attacks that could have happened in Israel that didn't happen because we're ready for that stuff. We have, bitachon, every settlement, every city has a, security, especially in Judea and Samaria, Jerusalem. Guys, we live in America. America's a big country, and Jews are very comfortable here. Rabbi Kahana, blessed memory, wrote a book called Uncomfortable Questions for Comfortable Jews. And Jews we're very, very comfortable here. We're very, very comfortable. Too comfortable. Okay? Just defend yourself. Learn how to defend yourself. I'm sorry. My friend says, move to a red state. Again, you think you're going to be safe just because it's a red state? Okay, maybe you can have a gun. Listen, every shul can get a gun. It doesn't matter where you are. In New York, you can get a gun. A shul can get a gun. In Jersey, same thing. Our shul has a gun. It's one gun in the shul, or two guns, right? But it's not like the rabbi's walking around holstered like in a settlement. He has a gun in his office. But, in these situations, active shooter, let's say, that it's all about time. Even with a guy with a knife, comes in with a knife. It's a time issue. Everything's time is of the essence. You have to act quickly. You have to think, think on your feet. Friends, this is where we're living. These are the times where we're living in. And you know what? I mean, my friend said, we still need the diaspora. We have 2,500 years of diaspora. I said, listen, you clearly don't know Jewish history. every place we were in the diaspora, you can go back to Babylon and Rome and Spain and all these places, Germany, Russia, Poland, and we thought we were in these places and we were an integral part of society, and we're in the government, we're contributing, and this and that and the other. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason Herzl wrote that book, Alt New Land, is because he saw what was going on. He saw what happened with Dreyfus in France. A person who's loyal to the country that he lives in, right, loyal to the military, can be easily accused, mistakenly or on purpose accused of something he did not do, and declared a traitor to the state just because he's a Jew. Why was he a traitor? Because he's a Jew. And Herzl saw this and he's like, you know what? I thought we lived in this enlightened Europe, and it turns out we don't. You know, and this is actually the message of Hanukkah, where it's like, what was the battle? The battle was, before we had the military battle, we had the battle of, you know, these people claiming how enlightened they are, and they try to make us live under their, you know, so to speak, ideology. Not by force, just by, you know, kind of merging, convincing us that their ideology is more, you know, they're more enlightened. But we see, ain't nobody enlightened. Go around Europe, the Holocaust happened, you know, was done by really, really enlightened Germans who were into opera and art and all these wonderful things and culture. So enlightened, very enlightened. And, you know, America's enlightened too, but until certain forces take over, again, it doesn't matter what the reasons are. You can go around, oh, the lefties fomented this, right wing fomented this, these guys fomented this, their fault, it's their fault, it's their fault. Just look at the timeline of Jewish history, and friends, you'll have your answers. And understand that this is all from the Torah. This is all a spiritual thing. Again, you can decimate the anti-Semite, the Amalek, but you cannot take the hatred out of Amalek's heart. You cannot re-educate Amalek. He's Amalek. Again, go fight gravity. You can't do it. All right, friends. So, hopefully we'll be speaking, next time we'll be speaking under, I guess, happier occasions. Hopefully we'll find out some good news from Israel. We'll see. And we'll pray for the victims, and, you know, listen, message to the shuls out there, you guys got to arm yourselves. People have to arm. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're in Crown Heights, Williamsburg, Monsey, Pittsburgh, Skokie, Phoenix, Arizona, Houston, Texas, Miami. We had attacks in Miami a few times. You know, Los Angeles. Yeah, we had a guy. You know, there was a ransacking of a shul in one of the biggest Persian shuls in L.A. He just ransacked Torahs. I mean, thank God nobody was in there. Red state, blue state, purple state, white state. You know, it doesn't really matter. That's it. Just be vigilant, friends. That's it. Shavua Tov, Chodesh Tov, Hanukkah Sameach.